Maladjusted Misfits.
Hi, my name is Joe.
And my name is Adam. And together, we're the Maladjusted Misfits.
And this is the one where we talk about friends. This is insurance fraud, right?
No, I don't think it is. So, hey, Adam, we're on episode 17. How you feeling this week?
I'm feeling better. At least you got the episode number right this time.
Yeah, I had to re-record last week because I kept saying all throughout the opening it was episode 17 and it was only 16.
Right.
I get confused sometimes.
Well, technically they're one big episode,
Right.
So I understand why you would.
Aw, I appreciate that.
I was just being nice, but okay.
Well, I appreciate you pretending to be nice. All right, so this week we're doing
The one with two parts, part 2.
part 2.
Yes.
And supposedly they were shown on the same night, right? Same director,
Yes.
same writer and everything, but they broke it into 2 parts. So
Yes.
What is our IMDb plot for this episode?
So it says Rachel switches identities with Monica so she can use her health insurance. Meanwhile, Ursula continues to come between Phoebe and Joey.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, so as I said before, Michael Lembeck directed both episodes. And so total, he's directed 24 episodes of Friends. Mm-hmm. And it spans from season 1 to season 7.
Oh.
With season 2 being the most episodes he directs, which is 14.
Oh, so he's going to be our Burrows next year.
Yes.
Next season.
Next season. But I found another tidbit that was really good, that he graduated Beverly Hills High School in 1966. And his classmates were Rob Reiner, Albert Brooks, and Richard Dreyfuss.
Wow.
I know.
That would be the class to be in.
Isn't that cool? And for all of you people that didn't watch Friends and don't know who those people are, they're pretty awesome. He also is an actor. So he starred in 61 episodes of the original One Day at a Time. I thought that was cool.
And last week you said he directed some of the new ones, right?
That's right. That's pretty cool, too.
Yeah.
All right, so David Crane and Marta Kaufman, I looked them up, and so I found out, I just, looked up, I put their names in, and so their net worth came up, so I thought was interesting. So according to Forbes, Friends, over the span of time that it aired, earned $1.4 billion. I brought you some tea. If you
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then their net worth is conservatively about $550 million each.
Wow.
So Friends was very successful.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I knew that, but...
Do you feel bad about what you said about him last week?
Yes.
No, you don't.
Please don't hold anything against me, Marta.
They're not going to put you in their will.
I love you both deeply.
All right. The original air date, obviously, was...
February 23rd, 1995.
Yes.
Again, it aired as a full hour.
Right. And then I looked up the number 1 song that was that week.
Okay.
In 1995, February. Creep.
Ooh.
No, by TLC, not Radiohead.
Oh.
I know. I got really excited too, but then I was like, wait a minute, Radiohead wasn't.
I don't even know the TLC version.
I listened to a little bit of it. I couldn't tell you. It's not at all like the Creep that you like. So.
Well, I would assume probably not.
All right. And
I
then,
believe TLC and Radiohead are very different.
Very different. Yes, very different. The number 1 movie that week was the Brady Bunch movie. I forgot about the Brady Bunch movie.
I did forget about that movie too. Wow.
It grossed $14 million that weekend.
Wow. Wasn't there 2 of those?
I think so.
They should start making those like the Hallmark movies.
Yes.
Like every holiday.
Right.
And like weird one. Like I want
a very Brady Easter.
a very Brady President's Day.
I'd watch that. All right. So last week you told me to look up how Emmy nominations work, right?
Right.
So I did my homework, and that's my trivia this week.
Oh, there's a lot here.
I know. You can cut out what you want or save it for next week. So
If the episode goes long, everybody, this is good.
It's all my fault. All right. So the Academy of Television Arts and Science was founded in 1946. Okay.
Okay.
And there are over 25,000 members to date, to which you pay a fee to belong to. And that fee right now is $200 per year.
Oh, that seems high.
Actually, it doesn't.
No, it does not.
So to be nominated for an Emmy, it can be anyone nominating you that belongs to the Academy.
Okay.
So directors, producers, other actors, and you can even nominate yourself.
So can we become members of the...
I don't know. I should look that up.
I'd nominate myself.
Aw, the best podcaster. So once all the nominations are received, and last year they received 9,100 nominations.
Wow.
Yeah, they're sorted into categories and counted by Ernst Young on a sliding scale. So depending...
Like what? By what?
A sliding scale. So,
Ernest Young? What?
Ernst Young.
What's that?
It's they're an accounting firm, like an auditor, so that people can't cheat, like, in that movie
Right.
Election,
Where they cheat.
where they cheat. Yeah. So it's on a sliding scale. So depending on how many number of nominations you receive, then the Academy will give you like a number of nominations. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so then they're voted on by peers in that category. So directors vote for directors, performers vote on other performers, and so on.
All right.
Yeah, so then I broke down the Friends and their Emmy nominations. So I only did their nominations for the Friends episode, okay?
Okay. So for the Friends TV show.
Yep, these are their nominations.
Okay.
So Friends, the show itself, was nominated 62 times for Emmys.
Oh.
Yeah. And they won 6 times.
Okay.
Yeah. So David Schwimmer was nominated once, but he didn't win. Mm-hmm. Matthew Perry also nominated once, but no wins. Matthew LeBlanc was nominated 3 times for Friends, no wins, but he is also nominated 4 times for episodes, which I liked.
Yes, I like the episodes a lot.
Jen Aniston was nominated 5 times, and she won once for season 8. And then Lisa Kudrow was nominated 6 times for playing Phoebe and won once for season 4, the episode Ross's Wedding. So you can be nominated for the entire season or for specific episodes.
Okay, so when somebody would nominate you, they'd be like,
Yeah.
she was really good in such and such an episode.
Exactly.
Got it.
And the sad thing is there were no nominations for Courtney.
Oh.
None for Friends. All right. And then the guest actors can also be nominated for Emmys. So Christina Pickles was nominated twice and won once.
Okay.
Marlo Thomas, who played Jen Aniston's mom in the series, was nominated once, but she didn't win. Tom Selleck was nominated, but lost to Bruce Willis.
Oh, for Friends?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I thought that he had an Emmy win for Friends.
Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah. Susan Sarandon, Gary Oldman, and Brad Pitt were all nominated, and they all lost to guest stars on Frasier.
What?
Yeah.
Who was on Frasier?
I don't know. Hank Azaria was nominated, but no wins. But he did win 6 times for The Simpsons.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Yeah.
And then Danny DeVito was nominated, no win. And then Christina Applegate was nominated twice for her guest appearance, and she won once. She's funny in those.
Yeah. To name a few.
All right, so what was your episode reaction for this episode?
My reaction is much better.
Okay.
Episode. I always find TV crossover stuff weird, and then the first half of the episode, let's call it.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was awkward.
Like the doctors in this episode isn't really crossover stuff because they're playing different characters. And I like that they're in the episode.
Right. They have a function.
Right. If they just showed up for the one scene in the hospital and we're done,
Right.
I'd be like, what the hell is this? But they give them something to do.
Right.
And I really think if Helen Hunt and the other woman would have had something to do,
Right.
it would have been funnier.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. So I agree with you. I like this part better than part 1. It actually seems like 2 separate episodes. Like
Yeah.
they don't other than the balcony thing and her going to the hospital, they don't flow that well together.
Right. It's just the Joey dating Ursula is the through line.
And they could have spread the Lamaze classes out. They could have spread Chandler's storyline out with Nina Bookbinder. It's just really weird. But anyway.
Again, I think those are syndication decisions. We have to keep it a little bit separate because...
What if they're not shown back to back?
Right.
Right. So it is funnier. And of course we have George Clooney, which makes it amazing. So, which leads me to my favorite line. I got to go with Clooney when he goes, "God bless the chickpea." His facial expression kills me every single time. He's not even looking at Monica. Yeah. He's staring at Rachel going, what is going on?
Yeah. See, I'm going to go with Chandler.
Okay.
I'm going to go with your favorite character. My favorite line is, "We think he was trying to spell monkey."
Oh, yeah. They took the K and they found an M and an O. Yeah, that's funny. All right, my favorite moment. I'm sorry, people are going to hate, but I have to go with the Clooney-Wiley scene. No pagan altars, no pile of bones in the corner. And their facial reactions to Rachel and Monica one-upping each other is just comedy gold. It's amazing.
Right. They're drinking the wine at the same time. They're always looking at each other.
When he answers the phone, it's just...
and it's fun that they give them an angle.
Yes.
They have a little conversation where they're like, this never works out.
Right. I'm never
it always ends up being crazy people, and then they turn into crazy people.
And they're not surprised.
And again, all of that is awesome.
It's really
I think that's what they should have done with Mad About You people. Give them something to do.
Yep. So
all right. What was your favorite outfit?
No, favorite moment. You didn't do yours.
Oh, I didn't do my favorite moment.
Yeah.
Okay, I was trying to skip mine. So I almost went with the cake drop.
Oh, that is so funny.
When they scare Ross at the door. I think that's very funny. But I ended on when Ross and Chandler are taking the monkey into the hospital.
Okay.
And Monica and Rachel goes, well, "What's up, guys?" And they go, "Oh, Marcel swallowed a K." And then they do a double take because they're like, "Why the fuck are you in the hospital?"
Their faces are so funny.
But I kind of like that. I like when people that idea of people ending up in a place that you're not expecting.
Right, exactly. At the same time. Yeah. All right, so now my favorite outfit. I'm going to go with Phoebe's striped jumper when she's at Riffs, and I think it's the rest of the episode she's in wearing this jumper, because I had that jumper. I had that exact jumper, and I wore a long black sleeve t-shirt underneath it, and I believe... if you pulled out my yearbook, there's a picture of me wearing that exact outfit. Yes.
I don't remember the yearbook, but I remember you wearing that.
Yes. Isn't that funny? That's so funny. All right. So what was your favorite outfit?
So this week, I feel like there's a lot of repeat outfits.
Okay.
I feel like Monica and Rachel wore a bunch of stuff that I've seen before.
Yeah.
And so I just went with Rachel in her overalls with her little medical t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Healthcare. I don't know what it's.
Yeah. Little Red Cross in her tennis shoes. She does look really cute. No. You're right.
When in doubt, I'm going to go with overalls.
If someone has overalls on.
Unless you wear something like, a Catwoman suit.
That'll come later.
Yeah, it will.
We'll be fighting over who's the best outfit. All right. So themes explored in this episode. 1, insurance fraud.
Oh, yes. Everybody's got to try the insurance fraud at least once. No. At least in America. Other countries are like, what? Number 2, feeling like a father.
Yeah, that comes up a lot. And 3, pretending to be someone else. So Phoebe pretends to be Ursula. Monica and Rachel pretend to be each other. It's a weird theme, but it happens.
It happened.
All right, we're going to take a break before we break down the episode.
Oh, God, I am so spoiled. That's it.
And by the way, have I mentioned that back in high school, I was a cow?
I used to wet my bed.
I used my breasts to get other people's attention.
We both do that. And now we're back for the episode analysis.
All right, so there really isn't a cold open, so we call this the warm open because it's one episode and it just transitions.
Right, and this is the part where you can tell it's part of the same episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's no cold open, there's no credits.
Yeah, there's
beginning.
no credits. Yeah, they flash the credits over this warm open.
Yeah.
So. All right, so they're in the hospital ER, Rachel and Monica, and then Rachel comes in, ow, 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 ow. She does them in 3. So Rachel's limping from having just dangled from the balcony by the Christmas lights.
This is what I'm talking about.
And we also have Alaina Reed-Hall, rest in peace. Olivia from Sesame Street, yes.
She'll always be Olivia in my heart.
I know, exactly. She berates them for still having their Christmas lights up. And they get the admissions forms, and Monica starts to fill them out, and Rachel says that she is hurt in case of emergency. And Monica goes, "Oh, I love you. Oh." And then Mon asks for her insurance, and Rach says, "Oh, yeah, check that. Definitely going to want some of that."
Okay, now there's a difference between being an entitled brat and being stupid. I mean, come on. Her dad is a doctor.
Right.
And I still think, no matter, I understand she's being independent.
Right.
Her dad's loaded and a doctor.
Right.
I think he would have been like, "I'm paying for your fucking health insurance."
Right, exactly.
And he would have said it like that because it's Dr. Green.
Right. But I could totally see Rachel not knowing how insurance works.
I know, but again, it's stupid. Oh, yeah, check that box. I'm going to want some of that. Oh, my God.
So Monica scolds her for not having insurance, and she finds out that x-rays could be a couple $100, and she asks Monica if she can use her insurance.
No.
Because she just listed her as her in case of emergency. Like, that should be a reason to commit fraud and go to jail.
Right.
So
No.
Monica warns that this is insurance fraud.
I'd be like, put, what's his name as your cat? I don't care.
Put Ross.
Put Paolo down for all I care. You're not using my insurance.
So Rach says, "Okay, then we'll just have to go home." And she goes, "Ow, ow, 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 ow."
Okay, that's another thing. Who goes to the emergency room for a twisted ankle?
Yeah, no.
I know she was dangling by Christmas lights,
Right.
but it's always one of those things you like.
They're not going to do anything.
I'm going to put some ice on it
Right.
and see how it is tomorrow.
I'm sure you could tell if it was broken versus sprained, but I don't know. Anyhow, Monica reluctantly agrees and takes the form back up to Olivia. And I'm going to call her Olivia because in the credits, she's just listed as admissions woman, which is an insult, okay? They gave the gross fireman names. This
Right.
is Olivia from goddamn Sesame Street, for fuck's sake, okay?
That's right.
All right.
Now you're mad for some reason.
That's right. I don't know. I just think she deserved more than admissions woman. All right.
Well,
and
just because she's Olivia.
that's right. All right. So she asked for another set of forms because she's an idiot and put down her information.
You are
But
an idiot.
She wrote them in pencil, and the pencil has an eraser, and their address is the same, so it really wouldn't require her to fill out a whole nother form, but whatever.
Right. Yeah, you think she'd be like, "You filled this out in pencil. I can't use this." But again, nobody on the show knows how insurance works.
That's right. That's right. You just check a box, apparently.
So then we go into Central Perk, and there's Ross, Chandler, and Joey, and we dissolve into Central Perk because, again, there was no
Right.
theme song.
Nope.
And they're drinking coffee and reading the paper, and then Ross decides this is the moment to talk about the dream that he had last night. And he's like, "I was playing football with my kid." And they're like, "Oh, that's sweet." And he's like, "No, with him."
Because remember, flashback, he picked up the baby doll at
Right.
Lama's class and said, "Go deep."
Right. He's like, "I'm on the field," and they take the baby, and he goes, "And Tampa Bay is running right at me." And Joey's like, "Tampa Bay has a terrible team." So, just an aside, I know so much about the NFL, I have no idea if Tampa Bay even has a team anymore. Ross thinks, they can still take him because it's just him and the baby. So he heaves it downfield.
Are you crazy? That's a baby.
He should take the sack.
I don't even know what that means, but
See, now, I used to be able to play football, so I know what that means.
but he's like so into the actual football
Right.
game, he doesn't take it.
Right, he's not even thinking about that.
The baby, yeah.
Right. So it was at this point that I noticed that Chandler has on both a Band-Aid, or a plaster for our British friends, from the stapler incident with Nina.
Yes, that is so funny. I noticed he had a Band-Aid.
Because it's part 2.
That's right.
She hit him with the stapler.
Yep, and he has a Band-Aid.
And he is also wearing a gray sweater vest.
Sweater vest! It's back. We have a gray one.
That's right.
All right, we're counting it.
So then Ross is utilizing his dream logic, and he finds himself downfield as the receiver. And he's running, and the throw is long, and he's not going to be able to make it at time, and he's running, and then he wakes up, and he takes this as a sign that he's not ready to be a father.
Because in his dream, he couldn't catch the football baby?
Right.
Okay.
It makes total sense. You know, my psychiatrist looked so relieved when I told her that my weird-ass dreams never bother me.
You do have some really strange dreams. And it's so funny because Adam sometimes will wake up and be in a bad mood. Like he'll just wake up instantly and be angry. And then about 15 minutes into the morning, he'll just realize that he's angry because of the dream he had. Right. And not because of anything else. So then he's okay.
The boy kid did something so stupid and I was screaming at him. And then I woke up and I was like,
he was in a bad mood. I just love that. All right.
But yeah, my psychiatrist looks so like, oh, thank God I don't have to talk about dreams.
They don't mean anything.
But Chandler reassures Ross that he's one of the most caring men in North America. And Joey adds that he and the baby just need better blocking.
Okay, that'll solve it.
So Ross appears content, and Joey asks if the Rainbow Room is expensive. And Chandler assures him only if you order stuff.
Oh, I've heard of the Rainbow Room, but I've never been there.
So I Googled the Rainbow Room.
Ooh, you looked it up.
I did look it up.
All right, tell us about the Rainbow Room.
So the average for 2023 was $247.43 per person.
That's mighty expensive.
That's pretty pricey for pre-General Hospital Joey.
It's days of our lives.
Whatever. Come on.
You're right. That is very expensive for Joey.
So then Joey shares that he's taking Ursula there for her birthday. And Ross asks about Phoebe's birthday, which is also tonight. And he's like, what are the odds? Despite the fact that the last episode, he just had her try on her birthday sweater and he was aware that they had the same birthday.
Crazy.
But again, let's just not dwell on that.
I do like Ross's line, you take your time.
Right. Again, I love that moment.
Yeah.
But knowing that those appear back to back, like they do this every now and then in Friends, and I think it's an older sitcom trope of not paying attention to things that came before,
right,
and not bringing them back up, and all of it kind of being for the sake of a joke. That would have been my favorite moment had they not spoiled it.
So 6 seconds passed.
Yeah, 6 full seconds passed before Joey figures it out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I counted the seconds. So they ask Joey what he's going to do, and he says, what can I do? And he goes, you don't want to screw it up with Ursula, which I could understand. You don't want to screw it up with your new girlfriend.
Right.
And if Phoebe's my friend, she'll understand. Wouldn't you guys? And Chandler tells him, well, if you tried something like that with me, you'd be staring down the business end of a hissy fit.
That was almost my favorite line. All right. So then we cut back to the hospital ER room. And Monica and Rachel are sitting on the bed. And George Clooney and Noah Wyle walk in. And George, Dr. Mitchell, enters the room saying, you add a pinch of saffron and it makes all the difference. I love that line. And I don't cook enough with saffron. So I don't know what it does or what it tastes like. I got to figure that out. And they say, okay, Monica. And Monica answers, but they do the sitcom trope where they're pretending to be each other. And she says, yes, she is.
Right.
And then they introduce themselves as Dr. Mitchell, who's played by George, and Noah is Dr. Rosen. And Rachel is full on flirting and says, aren't you too cute to be a doctor? And then says, yeah, good one, Rach. But I think she knows exactly what she said and did.
Right.
Like, that is not an out loud. Oh, did I say that out loud? No, you said that out loud because you were flirting with the doctor.
Oh, Rachel. She loves her doctors.
She does. What, is your dad a doctor or something?
Yeah. Why? So then we're back to Monica and Rachel's apartment. I think it's funny, when I made the notes, I always put Monica's apartment.
Oh, yeah?
To go with the joke of
Oh, it belongs to Monica.
Monica always thinks of it as her apartment.
Right.
But you just started putting Monica and Rachel's apartment.
Aw.
Because you love them both.
I do.
All right. So then the song, What's the Frequency, Kenneth, plays us into the party. And Betty and Gunther and a bunch of others are milling around.
Mm-hmm.
And Monica and Rachel are telling the hospital story to Chandler in the kitchen area.
Right.
And Rachel says it was just a sprain. And Monica says, you left out the stupid part. As if going to the hospital for a sprained ankle wasn't the stupid part.
Rachel says it's not stupid.
Not stupid. There's 2 cute doctors and they asked us out tomorrow. And Chandler's sweater vest is fully visible now. He ditched the suit jacket, but it's the same one from earlier.
Yeah. So I always wonder, how long did they think this would last, that they're using the wrong names and they're going out with these doctors? What if they really, really liked them?
Right.
What are they going to say? Oh, we just mistakenly called each other by our names and we never told you?
Right. Your choices are you either rip the Band-Aid off right away or not bother dating them.
Right? Like, what was the point of asking them out? Anyway.
But yeah, it's one of those. It's a sitcom lie and, it's going to make for a fun situation, which it does.
Yes.
That's why you have to have that little bit of suspension of disbelief. Yada, yada, yada.
It is funny.
Monica thinks carrying on this trade into the dates is totally insane, which we just discussed it totally is. But then Rachel explains they're cute. They're doctors. They're cute doctors. Doctors that are cute.
And what have we learned so far?
And then there's a knock at the door. And everyone hides and prepares themselves for surprising of the birthday girl, Phoebe. Mm-hmm. And Monica opens the door and they all yell, surprise. And Ross throws the cake high into the air and it lands on the ground.
Didn't your dad drop a cake one time?
Yes. So my mother loved this one bakery. Mm-hmm. We always got our cakes from this one bakery because my mother loved the cakes from there. Mm-hmm. So my sister, like 11 maybe, wanted to buy them an anniversary cake. With her own money. Uh-huh. She saved up money and she ordered the cake and paid for the cake. And my dad picked up the cake.
Yep.
And my dad's a goofball. 50% of the time. The other 50 is an insane person. But 50% of the time he's a goofball. Would pretend to drop stuff. And so he comes in the back door going, whoa, whoa, pretending he's going to drop the cake. And then he dropped the cake.
Oh, poor sister. Oh, I feel so bad.
And my sister didn't talk to him for like 2 weeks after
that. I bet.
So he dropped his anniversary cake that his little daughter paid for. Anyway, so Ross, looking like the most caring man in North America, asks, what the hell are you doing? You scared the crap out of me.
I do like his line in that part. But Ross, it's a surprise party. What the fuck, man?
Right.
Why would you knock on the door? You walk in all the goddamn time. Right.
My hand was full of cake. So Rachel, smart as whip, asks, was that the cake? Yeah, we got a lemon smush. Knowing Phoebe will be here any minute, they all rush to the coffee table to see how the cake looks. And Channel reads, happy birthday, Pee-hee, which is generous because that cake looks fucked.
Yeah, when they pan back and show the cake, there's no way it says anything.
It does not say a fucking word on that cake.
It's a blob.
So as they plan their cake cosmetic surgery, Phoebe walks up behind them and asks what's going on. And then they all yell surprise. And Phoebe's excited. I mean, she's Phoebe, so this surprise is probably the best surprise of all. The mistimed surprise. But she said it wasn't scary, and she looks around and she's like, hi, Betty, you got Betty. And she says, she literally says, everyone that I love is in the same room. Where's Joey?
And Chandler goes, did you see Betty?
But Phoebe's gratitude at the sight of Betty dissipates at the realization at the lack of Tribbiani in the party.
Aw, poor Phoebe.
And it makes her sad.
It does.
And it makes everybody else feel like they're wasted their time showing up to her party.
Like, what am I, chopped liver?
Right.
All right. So then we go to a restaurant. And I really tried to see the name of the restaurant, but a van pulls in front of it in the shot, and it's snowing. I can't see anything. But it's Ross and his dad, Jack.
Yes.
And it opens with Jack. He's ranting about sun-dried tomato business and how he should have gotten in on the ground floor. And he goes, if you would have told me if somebody came to my office and said a tomato that looks like a prune, I would have said, get out of my office. And then I started questioning, like, what does Jack do for a living? Like, he said he was a lawyer to his in-laws, but he's not really a lawyer. And I also think that this restaurant kind of looks like one of those fancy clubs or executive level cafeteria thingies.
I think you're just saying that because there's a guy behind them reading a dictionary and taking notes.
He does. He looks like, well, they look like they're at work. Like it's not, So the dictionary.
It looks like a dictionary.
It is a pretty thick book, yeah. All right, so Ross is trying to ask his dad if he was freaked out before Ross was born. And, like, when he goes, I'm not freaking out.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not about the tomatoes, Dad, okay? I'm trying to talk to you about if you panicked before becoming a dad. And Jack says, no, because I wasn't around that much because of the business. And, again, I don't know what the business is. But back in those days, fathers waited in the lobby, and women did all the work and the planning and etc. And I don't know when that shifted.
Well, when Ronald Reagan fucked the economy out of the single-income household, that's when it ended.
And then Jack goes, is this what that's about?
Yeah, I like that he gets so paranoid.
And he offers to make it up by taking Ross to Colonial Williamsburg. And Ross says, no, I just want to know when you started to feel like a father. And then Jack tells a story about after he was born and Judy was asleep, and they gave Ross to Jack, and Ross wrapped his hand around his dad's finger, and that's when he knew.
Aww.
And so he finishes with, you don't want to go to Williamsburg? And he goes, no, we can go to Williamsburg. And then he goes, eat your fish.
Eat your fish. So then we're back at Monica and Rachel's apartment.
Yep.
And two doctors are about to show up. So we have the television is still playing in Spanish, and they turn off Chuck Woolery and what I believe is the dating game.
In Spanish.
Yeah. And there's a knock at the door, and the two cute doctors are here. So Noah Wyle from the Librarian series of movies comes in with that schlub from Facts of Life. And they brought wine from the cellars of Ernest and Tova Borgnine, which is, I think, a fun joke about celebrities and their wines.
Yep.
And George and Amal Clooney's wine company is Domaine de Chandelle.
Uh-huh.
Or it may not be. I read a whole article about how they tried to buy this winery,
right,
and then they think that they didn't, and now there's a legal battle.
Oh my
and
gosh.
It's a bunch of legal stuff that, it was just a joke I wanted to make. I don't really care.
If they have or do not have a wine company.
So I wanted to make a joke about them having a wine company, but now I'm not sure, so... Anyway, Noah asks Monica how her ankle is, and he means Rachel, which leads to the first name confusion. Monica wants to end the charade now, or Rachel I forget.
Yeah, so Rachel says, I want to tell them. Let's just tell.
Right.
And Monica is concerned about getting caught doing insurance fraud.
Because these are the physicians that waited on them.
Right, exactly.
Now, again, I think for an ankle sprain, I think they both would have been like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, right. It's not like you had a heart transplant or something.
Right. We're not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars here.
Right.
It turned out to be almost nothing. So the doctors are sitting down, talking about how the ladies still seem normal. And again, I like how they give them something, a little story of their own.
Yes, yeah.
They sit down, and Wiley says, every time we date women that we meet at the hospital, it turns into, and Clooney's like, relax, look around, there's no pagan altars, no pile of bones in the corners. Go like this. You got something on you. Now, this was a running joke on ER, because Doctors Carter and Ross were always dating witches and satans and gremlins and things.
No, they weren't.
I was trying to tie it back to the Mad About You characters. And So as the girls argue and pour wine, Rachel tells Monica that she is becoming her mother.
Ooh.
So I'm not one of those people that claims to know a lot about women. But this is like rule number one of things that you never say to any woman is that they're turning into their mother. I know that much. If women ran the world, I think it would be a law. And we're about to find out why. So Noah asks how long they've been here, and Rachel is taking the role of Monica and says she's been here for 6 years, but Rachel just moved in a few months ago. And Monica then, as Rachel explains, that she was supposed to get married and left the guy at the altar. It's pretty selfish, but that's me. Rachel then, as Monica, says she's a chef, and she likes it because she gets to boss people around. You know what Wiley says? The hummus is great.
God bless the chickpea.
I am so spoiled. That's it.
Then Rachel's like, I don't even know how insurance works now.
Right. Right. Yeah, that would have been a funny one to tell. So they go back and forth. This whole thing. I used to wet my bed. I used my breasts to get other people's attention.
Yep, we both do that.
The guys take a drink. The telephone rings, and Clooney answers it. Which, I don't know. If I was in an awkward situation, I think I'd have pulled the old, oh, I forgot I have to be somewhere else. Not answered somebody else's phone, but...
Well, I say it later, but, like, how long do these guys hang out? Like, do they leave after the phone call? It's
right.
Like...
He goes, Rachel, it's your dad, and hands Monica the phone. And Monica pretends to be Rachel and tells Dr. Green that she had sex with Billy Druskin on his bed. And the two gentlemen look at each other in a non-surprised kind of way.
They've been here before.
Right. Because, again, they've given them a little character, little thing to do.
So we're still, it's a different day, but we're back in Monica and Rachel's apartment. It's the next morning, obviously.
Right.
So Rachel, Monica, Phoebe, Ross, and Chandler are there. And Rachel is on the phone explaining to her dad she would never sleep with someone, Billy Druskin, whose father tried to put him out of business. As a doctor? She tried to put him out of doctor business? I don't know. Anyway, Rachel says Monica's dead. You're dead.
Yeah.
And Monica's hair is still very bouffantish. I just want to point that out. It's very big. All right. And Monica and the rest are playing Scrabble. And
Well,
Marcel.
it's still the same episode as last week. That's why you're
That's right. Her hair is still bouffantish because, she teased it and it stayed that way.
Yeah.
So they're playing Scrabble, and Marcel has the remote again, and they're watching Bugs Bunny in Spanish. And Rachel answers the phone because Monica gets a call from the hospital about the admissions forms. Mm-hmm. And they're both very nervous. Neither one of them wants to talk to the hospital. And as you should be, because you committed fraud.
Right.
But I can't do anything like this. And Adam knows this about me. I do not like gambling in movies. I don't like falsifying information. They make me anxious when I watch movies like that, and I'm already anxious enough. I don't need that.
Right. I don't need more anxiousness.
So I can't stand when people are doing something that could get them in a lot of trouble.
Right.
All right, so they decide to go back to the hospital and just come clean. They're just going to fill out new forms, and Rachel's going to be Rachel.
Every now and then, I'm going to say this now because, again, this is one of those things where I feel like if they were acting like real New Yorkers, they wouldn't have so much of a problem.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because there's one episode coming up that I'm going to mention this again, but I feel like as a New Yorker, if the emergency room would be like, you got to come back down here. You don't fill out paperwork. A New Yorker would be like, go fuck yourself. Like, there's no way.
So I probably still have a parking ticket in Los Angeles because we lived in Los Angeles for a short period of time in our 20s. And when we parked out in front of our apartment, it was only for certain hours of the day, and you had to move your car constantly. Parking was a fucking nightmare in Los Angeles. But anyway, and so on the last day, Adam had to work, and he was like, don't forget to move the car. So I drove it around the block for a couple times and then parked it a little further down. But what happens is they mark your tire with a chalk. Mm-hmm. And so I must have just pulled exactly to where the tire was marked, even though I was further down the street. And they gave me a ticket, and I was like, fuck this. And I tore it up, and I never paid it. So that's probably where my anxiousness started. All right.
And if California ever calls, I go to be like, fuck you.
That's right. That was 30 years ago. All right. So Joey comes in all sad. He could be Ross in this moment. Because Ursula stood him up. And Phoebe says, don't you hate it when people aren't there for you?
Wow.
And Ross has the brilliant idea of Joey calling her. I was like, this is brand new information.
Yeah.
Like, he called her. I mean, he knows he can call her. But Joey says he's tried calling for 2 days, and she's too busy to talk at riffs. And then that banjo music comes back.
It's not banjo music.
It sounds like banjo music. It's weird, and it's like this Joey Ursula theme song.
So then we're to Riff's bar and restaurant. Ursula and Phoebe. Phoebe enters asking Ursula if she has a minute. And she's working, so she says, yeah. And she points to an empty table. And she almost hands some lady her food, but she takes it over with her and sits down and starts eating it. It's pretty funny. And again, I think this would have been a good spot for Helen Hunt and
Leela Kenzel?
Yeah. To come back. You know, to show up in Riffs and see them both there and be like, oh.
Yeah. That would have been hilarious.
I think that would have been a good joke.
Yes.
So Phoebe brought Ursula a B-Day present, a Judy Jetson thermos.
Aw.
And, you know, because it's Ursula, I'm not sure if she even understands it.
Right. She just says, oh, Judy Jetson.
Oh, because of okay.
Right.
Ursula said she used her twin powers to learn of Phoebe's arrival. And she gets a gift for her, but it's the sweater that Joey got Ursula in the last episode. And I have to say, this sweater does have re-gift me practically written on it.
Oh my God. It actually looks like something I might have re-gifted.
It's not a very cute sweater.
No.
So Ursula sits and starts eating the food that she was supposed to waitress to somebody else. And Phoebe asks what the deal with Joey is. And she said, oh, well, that's over now. She's like, well, he's nutsy for you.
Why?
You got me. And then Ursula asks if her dinner comes with a side salad. Ursula isn't going to call Joey, but she thinks Joey's really smart and he'll catch on. She doesn't know him very well yet. She offers Phoebe chicken and Phoebe says, nothing with a face. Oh, you haven't changed. Yeah, you too.
All right, then we go back to the hospital ER. So Monica, Rachel, and Olivia, they come in and ask for new admission forms because she's just that stupid.
Right.
And Rachel says she'll just pay with a check. And Olivia says, but your insurance will cover that. And she goes, yeah, I'm not that bright either. So it doesn't really transition to a new scene. It just really quickly, goes to Monica and Rachel's apartment.
Right.
So Ross and Chandler are there. And they're still playing Scrabble, which is weird that they stayed when they left. I just thought that was weird. Like, when we had friends over and you and I left, our friends left. They didn't hang out at our house without us there.
Right.
But anyway. So Chandler's trying to talk to Ross and says, and this was almost my favorite moment, say you never feel like a father. Say your son never feels connected to you as one. And say all of his relationships are affected by this. And Ross goes, do you have a point? You know, you think I would.
So I think Ross here should be like, so I'm imagining myself as Charles Bing then. Oh, too close to home.
So then Marcel starts wheezing, and Chandler asks if the simian is okay, but Ross assures him it's just a fur ball. Mm-hmm. And then he goes, but you don't get 43 points for kidney. You get 0 because Marcel ate the K, and it's just idney. So they rush to the hospital ER and ask for help and run into Monica and Rachel, and there's your favorite moment.
Right. I do love that, the double take and everything. It cracks me up.
And then Olivia is protesting that monkey has got to go. But Ross says he is people. He has a name. He watches Jeopardy. And he touches himself when no one's watching. And then George Clooney offers to take a look at him. And the Rachel-Monica joke continues.
So then we're back to Central Perk. Mm-hmm. Oh, boy. Joey is playing She Loves Me, Not with a daisy as if he's Milhouse Van Houten instead of Joey Tribbiani. And Phoebe comes in wearing the sweater to trick Joey into letting him down easier because Ursula is a
piece of shit. Yeah.
So she changed her hair, but she left her rings on.
Right. So it's like, I can change my hair and put this sweater on, and he'll think I'm Ursula, but not that I have 60 rings on.
Right. I think it's funny, again, like a little Phoebe quirkiness thing. She doesn't even think about taking the rings off.
Right.
So she leads in with listen, and Joey sees that train coming.
Aw.
So then Joey's like, well, what about what you said under the bridge? Now, I assume Ursula said something about how sometimes she feels like she don't have a partner, and sometimes she feels like her only friend is the city she lives in.
No, it's not the Red Hot Chili Peppers. But you listen to podcasts of a 30-year-old TV show, you're going to get 30-year-old references.
That's right. So if you want to understand that joke, you can listen to Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And then there's a little bit of confusion because Phoebe was like, oh, I was so drunk that night. And Joey's like, you don't drink, Ursula. And she's like, oh. And there's a little bit of back and forth. And he goes, is this about Phoebe? And she's like, what if it was? And so this takes a weird turn for me.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about this a little bit.
Yeah.
You think it's cute.
I do.
I think that it gets weird. I think Phoebe is the most selfish of all the Friends characters.
Oh, in this scene or just totally?
Just in general.
Okay.
I mean, there's an episode coming up soon, which is my least favorite episode.
Uh-oh.
Has to do with Phoebe. But she's kind of always making everybody play by her rules. Kind of like Joey does with the codes and the rules. And she kind of pulls all the stuff out all the time and making it about her.
Right.
When it's not always about you.
Yeah.
So she's doing this nice thing for Joey.
Yeah.
I agree.
She's trying to let Joey down easy.
She's trying to let Joey down easy.
Give him closure.
But then she turns it into this thing where you have to choose between Phoebe and me, Ursula. Mm-hmm. And then it just comes off as selfish to me.
Right.
And I understand what they're doing, but I also understand how it makes me feel about what they're doing.
Right. Well, I just thought it was a sweet moment where and we were talking about this right before we recorded, but I said, I think she pretends to be Ursula to let him down, to make him feel better.
Right.
And then once she knows that, like they've broken up, like it's going to be over, then she wants to reassure herself that he still loves her as his friend.
Right.
So.
And I give her credit. She doesn't bring it up. Joey brings it up.
Yeah.
And I think they do that purpose. The writers do that purposely. But she does use the situation to kind of go, Phoebe's more important to you than me, right? And he goes, yeah.
But I do like when they kiss, and then she has that look on her face like, oh my God, I just kissed Joey.
And then he turns around and he's like, Ursula doesn't kiss like that.
And she doesn't wear those rings.
Right. I feel like, after the kiss, and Joey was like, Phoebe? There was 2 hours scene cut of Phoebe explaining what she was doing.
Right. It's not really Ursula. I'm Phoebe. All right. So then we cut back to the hospital room. We have Marcel, Ross, Chandler, Rachel, and Monica. And Ross says, he's so tiny. And then Phoebe and Joey rush in, having just got the message. Because, when your friend's monkey swallows a K, you rush to their side. Yeah. But anyhow.
It's weird that they're all in the emergency room with the monkey.
So funny, yeah. So Ross explains that they got the K out, and they also found an M and an O, and that's where he says your favorite line.
Right.
That he was trying to spell monkey.
He was trying to spell monkey.
He's gonna be fine.
And I love the look on Ross's face when he says that.
He's like, shut the fuck up. So Ross explains he's gonna be fine. He's just sleeping, and Chandler asks if he feels like a dad yet. And he says no, but Chandler assures him that what he did, and he did what he had to do, and that is very dad-like. And then Marcel wakes up and wraps his little hand around Ross's finger. Aww.
And Marcel looks like he's going, Rossi.
And then this song, New York Minute by Don Henley, starts playing.
Right.
And it seems so out of place in this moment. It's so weird.
Right, because it feels very romantic.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like a father-son moment.
No, it's so weird.
I don't remember. Did New York Minute play in a different episode?
I don't know.
Because sometimes you hear, I don't think this is the only episode where you hear
oh, really?
the REM song.
Oh.
What's Your Frequency, Kenneth?
Yes, yes.
So I think like they would buy a used for it for the season.
I see. And then play it again.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this was one that they already had.
And they
that they
used
kind
again.
of used it for there.
That makes sense because to buy a song for an episode is probably pretty expensive.
Yeah. So then we're at the stinger, and this is all in Spanish.
Right. So we found the translation.
Right. So, okay. So here's the ending as it translates.
Okay.
Ross, here you go. Monica, who ordered General Tso's chicken? Chandler, I could have been General Tso. Rachel, look, ugly naked guy is doing the hula hoop. All, hi, Joey. Joey, hi, friends. Monica, look, Ross, Marcel took the remote control. Ross, the funny thing is, he doesn't even like TV. And some things are just funny in Spanish.
That's true. That's the end of the episode.
That's the end. Cut and print.
All right. We're going to take another short break. We'll be right back. Worst case scenario. Say you never feel like a father.
Uh-huh.
Say your son never feels connected to you as one. Say all of his relationships are affected by this.
Do you have a point?
You know, you think I would.
All right, we are back for the wrap-up.
All right, what did I learn from this episode? For as much as they bitch about Marcel, they all look so teary-eyed at the end, you know?
Right.
Not that they want him to die or anything, but it's still, they bitch about him a lot. And they might just have to throw that TV away because I think it's going to be stuck in Spanish.
Well, I learned that Tampa Bay had a bad team in 95. That Clooney will answer anybody's phone. And that some jokes are just funnier in Spanish when you can't really understand them.
We got hula hoop. That's all I got.
Right, we got ugly naked guys hula hooping over there.
All right. Final thoughts?
It would be funny if Ross wasn't the best dad.
Yeah.
Like if he kept getting married and divorced and knocking people up. Oh, wait. Never mind.
That's a terrible show. All right, my final thoughts. I like George Clooney in this so much. I wish he and Elliott Gould had a scene together because, you know, they're in Ocean's 11. I think that would have been cute. I don't have a twin, but I get the jealousy. You know, when you're in a group of friends, you don't like when interlopers come in and take someone away.
Right.
When we hung out with our friends, I have a nickname for Adam, and I call him that all the time. And she called him that nickname.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, no.
You're not allowed to do that.
You can't do that. So I get it. I get why Phoebe was upset because,
Well,
you know,
I
she
think,
was there first.
Yeah,
and
I think the real reason she was upset, which she never told Joey, which would have helped, is that Ursula is a horrible, horrible person.
Right.
And I don't think we get a lot of that yet. And I think they make Ursula worse as
Yes,
the series
times
goes
go
on.
yes.
I think that's the problem. I think Ursula is supposed to be a bad person.
Yeah.
And she never quite said that.
Yeah. All right. Sweater vest tracker.
Sweater vests.
Prior count was
15.
we had
1.
1 in this episode.
Yeah, so the overall is 16 so far.
Oh, we're still 1 behind the episode.
Right.
But we're close. We're not 2, so that's good. And then next week we have
the one with all of the poker. Lots of poker. Guys teaching the girls to play poker. Black Bart speeches and Joe incidences abound. Now it's time for maladjusted moments. Or misfit. Did we decide maladjusted or misfit moments? Maladjusted moments.
All right. So, how was your week? What did you do?
So this week you mentioned Albert Brooks in the graduating class.
Yes.
We watched Defending Your Life.
Yes, I
which
love
is
that
one of our
movie.
favorites.
Yep, it's so good. Meryl Streep, Albert Brooks.
Yes.
Rip Torn is in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny. You guys should watch it.
Yeah, it's a good recommendation.
Yeah.
It pairs well with Friends viewership, I think.
Yeah.
Not like some of my recommendations. But
Yeah, our movie collection is so eclectic. It's like some Disney, a lot of romantic comedies, a lot of action, and then a shit ton of horror that Adam watches. I don't watch those.
no, she does not. So I thought of a question
Okay.
that I could ask you.
Okay.
And I think this is a good one to do it.
Okay.
So up till now,
Right.
you've bashed a lot of the boyfriends on Friends.
Right. I don't think they're good looking.
You don't think they're very attractive.
Nope.
Now, I know you think George Clooney is very attractive.
Yes.
So I thought that maybe you could come up with some examples of people you think are attractive.
Oh.
So
people-
other stars, so that
Okay.
people get their, not like, this guy at work or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Because again, you've kind of been like,
This guy at work.
Yeah.
There's this one guy at work. No. So yeah, I mean, I like George Clooney. I liked him when he was younger. I like him now that he's older.
Now, did you like Mullet, George Clooney, Facts of Life?
I
Clooney?
did, yes. Even though I fucking hate mullets, I thought he was really cute in Facts of Life. And maybe I overlooked the hairdo because he's so funny. And I love his movies when he's being funny. I just think he's hilarious.
I said something to you when we were watching it.
Mm-hmm.
He looks so relaxed.
Yeah. Like he's
In this.
Yeah,
Like
he's just-
a lot of people come in and you can tell they kind of look nervous about being there.
right.
And a lot of the professional actors don't.
Right.
But, like Fisher Stevens didn't look nervous about being there. But some of the people look a little, like, I'm on a TV show.
Right. So I think a lot of attractiveness has to do with what they do and how they, their movies and stuff like that. Like I love Chris Evans. I think he's hot. I love Captain America, but Captain America is a great person,
Right. Like Paul the One guy fucking sucks. So it's hard to go.
Right. Oh yeah, he's attractive because
Right.
So I mean I love Chris Evans, I love Lee Pace, he's one of my favorite actors. I love Simon Pegg, even though he's not like super cute. So if he was in Friends, somebody might go, ugh. But I love Simon Pegg because he's funny and that makes him attractive to me. So So yeah. And
Right. There's some people like I find. You always tease me because I find everybody attractive.
You do.
I can kind of take the character aside.
Right.
And kind of go, that like Rebecca Ferguson
Mm-hmm.
in Dr. Sleep.
Yeah.
Playing Rose the Hat.
Yeah.
That character is fucking detestable.
Oh, yes.
But she is so fucking hot in that movie.
She is cute. You're right. But remember when I went through this phase where I like hated Gene Hackman because of Unforgiven? Like I fucking hated him. So if there was a movie with Gene Hackman, I'd be like, no, I don't like him. And then I went through the same thing with someone else. I forget. Oh, Brian Cox, remember?
Who you find is terribly attractive.
No. But he was such a dick in one movie. And then ever since then, I was just like, oh, I can't stand this guy.
Well, he was the pedo in that one movie.
Yes, that's right. He was a
I
pedophile.
forget the name of that movie.
But yeah, you're right. So I think my attractiveness has to do with their...
Like my sister saw the one movie that Robert Redford was the bad guy in.
Oh.
Which was, what was the one with Woody Harrelson and Demi Moore?
Oh, A
like,
Proposal. Indecent Proposal. Yeah.
That's the only thing I think she's ever seen Robert Redford in.
So she hates Robert Redford?
And she hates Robert Redford, who is always nice in everything.
I know.
He's super nice in person.
Yeah.
But like that's the only thing she's seen him in. So she's like, I fucking hate that guy.
That's funny. So a lot of times people ask too, like, what shows other than Friends that we like that are along the same lines. And so, I mean, I immediately go Parks and Recreation, super funny, ensemble cast.
Right.
The Office, obviously. Some people don't like The Office, but I think it's hilarious. Right. Ensemble cast. But Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which we talked about last week, amazing series. If you haven't watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you got to watch it. Again, ensemble cast, but all the characters are amazing. The storylines are great. And it's really funny.
Right.
So,
I have trouble with sitcom.
Yeah.
With the 3-camera live studio audience setup. Friends doesn't bother me as much. I don't know if it's just because it's been on so much in my life that I'm just used to it.
I forced it down your throat.
But like, yeah, I like things like The Office and Parks and Rec and Brooklyn Nine-Nine because they don't have that formula.
Yeah.
They don't have that. It's set up like a movie.
Right. Yeah.
And there's not a laugh track. I don't like. I just watched the first. Now I watched MASH as a kid.
Right.
And I just yesterday I turned on MASH, the first episode, just to see what I thought of it. And it's really weird because it's not filmed before a live studio audience.
It's obviously not. Yeah.
But there's a laugh track.
That's so weird.
And it's like, what the fuck is happening? Why is it doing this to me?
Why did they feel it necessary to have... I mean, why did they feel it was necessary to have a laugh track?
I don't know if it's because, like, MASH is a little bit of a darker comedy.
Maybe.
Like, to kind of clue you in that it's a joke. I don't know. I honestly don't know why they would have done that. It's
That's
so
funny.
weird. I mean, they have the MASH movie.
Yeah.
Again, that Elliott Gould was in.
Right?
It doesn't have a laugh track in it.
No. So we did finish watching Stranger Things.
Yes.
We finished season 4 with the kids. And we are on season 4 of Fargo, the TV show?
Yes.
Yeah. So we just started season 4 of Fargo.
Yeah, and because we're catching up to the new ones, because the new ones
Right.
are almost all out now. And,
Yeah.
And we have no patience to wait for anything. I don't know how anybody does that anymore.
Right? It's like, no, I have to binge watch this. Like when Shrinking came out, I think I watched almost half of the entire series in 2 days. Oh, and Ted Lasso. I love Ted Lasso too. So
Yes, you
I've
love
mentioned
Ted
it
Lasso.
before, but that's another ensemble cast that does just a great show.
Right.
So if you get a chance.
Right. Now, for me, Ted Lasso gets a little too sappy sometimes.
It's trying to be too lesson-y.
Right.
It's trying to teach you a lesson, and Adam doesn't always like that. Like, he's like,
no,
I get it. I'm a good person. I don't need you to
I
tell
don't
me.
mind that. I don't like a lot of sap. And it's got a lot of sap.
It's so cute.
You can
though.
almost use it to get syrup on your pancakes. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's still fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we should let these people go.
Yes, I guess so.
Yeah. But if you would like your thoughts or reactions regarding future episodes to be shared with the rest of the class, or if you just want to reach out and say hey,
Come on, like, we want to hear more from you misfits out there.
email us at themaladjustedmisfits@gmail.com.
Right. You could even go, hey, I don't agree with you
That's
on the
right.
sappiness
And
of
that's
Ted
okay.
Lasso.
We will definitely talk about it. Rate us and try and leave positive comments.
Or if you have a negative comment, try to leave it in a positive way.
That's right. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram because we do post memes.
Yeah. Joe, you ready for a cup of coffee?
Always. Hi, everybody. Hi, Betty. Betty. Hi. You found Betty. Oh, my God.